This is a bit odd for me, isn't it? Well, I've been thinking that it might be interesting to take a look at some add-ons or DLC for games that I've already given the comb over. Maybe things have changed, or maybe the content is worth the price of admission alone, or more likely, I want another excuse to go back through these games that I've already beaten. Honesty is always the best policy after all, and that's certainly the case for today's topic of discussion. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was the season premiere of Season 3, as well as the game that I played the most while recovering from my most recent open heart surgery. Time sure does fly, and I'm sure I'll get someone asking why I didn't play the Battle of the Gods or Resurrection F DLCs. Simply put, I'm not paying $30 for 2 boss fights and 2 transformations in a game I already thought was a little long-winded. But an adaptation of a neat little TV special? Sign me up! I could give a brief summary of my review, but I don't feel like repeating myself when the original video is so readily available. So if you haven't seen the original review, I leave you with a shortcut in the top right corner, and if that means we're all caught up, let's get going. Wow, this won't take long. Warrior of Hope is about 3 hours long and sees you playing through what I am inclined to describe as a version of the full game, but only in miniature. And I think that's a good way to describe this DLC overall. It's Kakarot's experience all over again, but just condensed and cut down in a lot of ways. If you weren't sold by the game itself, this won't do anything in convincing you. You still have all of the same combat abilities as before, the open world is about the same, but it's got a whole lot less to do, no doubt in part thanks to the post-apocalyptic nature of the game's setting. This means that there is all the same kind of challenges to do and find in the world, but that's it. Just the same kind of challenges. There are the same fishing minigames, the same orbs to fly through and get, the same kind of items to pick up off the ground, you get the idea. Trunks and Gohan are the only characters you'll be playing as in this adventure, and they both have to learn skills and attacks in the same way as before. You'll level up by doing a limited number of side quests, seriously, I counted like 3 in total, and defeating, again, hordes and hordes of robots. It was a problem in the main game, and it's a problem here. There are too many robots. I thought there was going to be something interesting at the beginning with the inclusion of these alarm droids. This scientist explains that these droids have a proximity area, and if you stay too long, it'll alert androids 17 and 18. This is supposed to be a really tense situation, like a game of stealth. 17 and 18 are these all-powerful characters that are an absolute nightmare to encounter. Like if you see them and they see you, you're dead. And that's why these alarm droids are a pretty neat idea on paper. But the problem is, 17 and 18 are just like any enemy you fight. They wait for you to attack, they're predictably aggressive, and have easy to dodge attacks, becoming just another obnoxiously large number to melt down as fast as possible with your limit mode. And I sure hope you think 17 and 18 are the bee's knees, because they're pretty much the only enemies you'll be fighting in this extra chapter. There is one fight as Gohan with Trunks as a support, one as just Gohan before he loses the arm, then another as just Gohan when he dies, then Trunks fight them before he leaves for the past, and then he fights them when he gets back from the past. And that's not even including the countless amount of times you could potentially fight them because of the alarm droids. This wouldn't be problematic if they just changed up their tactics or got some new moves after each time you fought them. But it's the same fight every time, beat for beat. You pick one to start wailing on, then after they lose a certain amount of health, that android goes on the defensive while the other becomes too obnoxious to ignore. I guess this could be seen as a cool little homage to the way they fight in the special, but it got old after 6 or so times through it. They did use a new super attack in their last fight, but it's just as easy to dodge as anything else. There was a really cool instance after Gohan's last fight where you're given control of him while he's totally fatigued. He can barely even throw a punch at this point, and there were even special animations created for each one of his super attacks, but he's so weak that he can't even use them correctly. And the androids actively taunt and toy with you until they just kill Gohan. This was so neat and definitely a highlight. It reminded me a lot of the scene towards the end of the special where Trunks is in the same boat and not even phasing the androids. To be completely fair, the androids' fights aren't one after another. They're broken up by matches with other opponents, like sparring matches with Gohan, a hyperbolic time chamber match with Vegeta, those really cool training sessions that get you new super attacks, and the last fight with Cell. That was probably the best fight in the expansion because of his crazy moveset, and there were some really cool special attacks you had to dodge back to back. Nothing as exciting as the desperation attacks from the earlier sagas in the base game, but it was still nice to see these. And some sections of his battle might have been really well animated, but most of the cinematics in this DLC weren't as amazing as I expect from CyberConnect 2. Gohan's final moments got some love, and Cell's final moments got some love.
This move should be familiar.
But other than that, I think this is a pretty weak looking expansion. The lip sync is still pretty bad, leaving the dialogue exchanges on the same level as a PlayStation 2 game, again, and the open world aspect that was kind of a major selling point for the original game is mostly downplayed here. There are no interesting townspeople to find and interact with, and the ones that you can find have nothing interesting to tell you. The city goes through a bit of an interesting change when it starts to be visibly rebuilt after the androids are gone, but it means nothing besides seeing some cranes as you fly around. There is no real point in exploration besides collecting these orbs that can be spent on super moves, but you get plenty through leveling up and following the story, so I see it as pointless. And it feels like those side quests I mentioned are only there to pad out the runtime even more. And seeing as how there were already fishing and fetch quests as story progressing main missions, it feels like they were trying to keep players there for a minimum amount of time, and they set out to reach that in some boring ways. I mean, the TV special itself was only about 48 minutes long.
Gohan!
You're pitiful, Trunks. An emotional wreck.
Not that I don't like the special, but I think almost any other movies would have made for a better expansion pack than this. The cynical me wants to blame it on laziness and the team realizing that they already had all the assets necessary to throw this thing together relatively easily, but the compassionate side wants to say that it was just doomed from the start to be repetitive and mundane. It might have been too much to ask for an adaptation for Wrath of the Dragon or Fusion Reborn, but I think I would have liked something such as that more than this. Not to say that this is a travesty or anything, but it's a bit less than what I was hoping for. If you weren't impressed by the base game, then this certainly won't change your mind. And if you're on the fence about getting this for your current copy of Kakarot, then I would honestly say skip it, or wait for a sale. Some of Trunks' combos are cool to look at. And a small handful of the cutscenes are neat, and that's kind of it. And you saw both of those things in this video, so I'd say you're good. Especially for $20. You don't need to play this. It's cool that a Switch port is on the way that already includes the 2 DLCs that honestly should have been free from the jump. Let's just hope that the Switch can run the game well enough. Oh man, and if it sounds like I'm tired, it's because I woke up at like, what time is it? Let's see. It's 7:37 in the morning, and we got back from vacation yesterday morning. It was fun, we had a good time. But anyway, I gotta stop talking. The next game I'm gonna be looking at launches in just a few days. But anyway, I appreciate you for watching, so thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.